I want to say is like, dude, it's about time. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been talking for like, God, what's it been, like a year now, dude? Because I was going back in my videos and everything, my older videos. I'm like, yeah, no, we were definitely talking in season one.
Oh yeah, I found you early on because when it was all coming out, I was like excited about it, and I saw literally nobody covering it. And
Yeah.
then your channel popped up finally because I was searching for it, and I was like, thank goodness. So I immediately just started interacting with you because I was just happy to have found someone else.
And that's like one thing is that it has shown how many fans are still out there. Because like again, this show, I mean, I don't really know anybody in like my personal area that's watching this show. And then
Me
when
neither.
I started uploading the videos, I was like, wow, like the same thing, like another dude's doing it. And then like I noticed that like all the people that were commenting on my videos were commenting on your videos, and it just started off as this like whole community. Especially through time with like this season, I was like, well, I mean, we share pretty much like the same kind of like audience. Like this is just something that needs to happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like a matter of time before this was gonna happen. Season 3 got confirmed by one of the
Really?
producers.
This is
Yeah,
the
I
first
guess
I'm
one
hearing
of the
about it,
producers, I think
so.
it's was his name Lee Morton or something. I think that's one of his names, the producer.
Okay.
And I guess he confirmed that like a third season was on the way. So
I thought
I
that
was
might be the
wondering.
case
Yeah, because I was
because,
like, well, I know they did like 2 seasons now. They've done a movie. Like, I don't know how long this is gonna go before he plans to do like King of the Hill.
yeah,
Because all
because
that's in
that's
the
why
works.
I was thinking they were going to do more because of the announcement of King of the Hill. And the fact that it feels like, especially since there was only the 6 month gap, that I feel like they made the movie, season 9 and season 10, maybe not finish some of the episodes of season 10 and use that 6 months to finish them. But I feel like it was mostly all done at once. And that they were able, since they're now doing digital, that maybe they can do it a lot like faster and cheaper. And if that's the case, and it's been pretty successful, even though like no one, like you're saying, locally I can't find many people watching it, but in terms of online it seems to be watched enough that they've done announced King of the Hill, and I figured they'd be announcing a new season, but there might be a bigger gap because they're actually, unless they've been still just working behind the scenes. He's probably just constantly working
Yeah,
on it.
because that's another thing. Is like you gotta think like how much they work. I mean, like you said, in a 6 month gap, we've gotten the movie, we've gotten like 30 episodes total now
Oh
with these
yeah.
this season. So I mean, and then for them to confirm a third season, like he's obviously hard at work with this, and I don't know. I love the passion behind it because obviously the last revival that was in like what 2011 or something.
Yeah,
It
I
didn't go on
missed
for
that
too
one.
long.
I had no idea about that one.
Yeah, and even now, like I go back and watch some of those episodes, and I'm like, I mean, this is definitely the more successful revival, especially with like the movie that they did and everything, did the universe. Like that was really successful. That got really good reviews and everything. So I think it was just a matter of like testing things out and seeing how it went. And I don't know, it seems to be
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
So it seemed like an experiment, and once season 9 was as successful as it was a go ahead. And he's like, okay, we can finish these other episodes now. And then they had some new strong ideas for season 10, because even though people have been mixed on it, I think the Anderson Ward stories, I just like that he's adding something different and creative into the mix. That even if they're not all like laugh out loud, like funny, I like the Anderson character, and that's just been a nice little addition besides just having the side cutaways that just have to do with their commentary. They had the one with the flag.
What was
I
it?
love that
Stolen Valor.
episode.
Stolen Valor. Yeah,
Stolen Valor.
when are we gonna get Todd? I mean, we got Stewart back in the last season because of the
I
kidney
was going to
episode.
talk to y'all about that because it's like there's been some newer kind of side characters that randomly pop up, but it's like, why not just bring back Todd? And I was even thinking about what's the coach's name?
Oh God, Coach Buzzcut.
Yeah, I was thinking it's now that they're in the
The
future,
immature
he was
boy.
such a rage machine. I feel like now he would be like someone who has to be like calm because he might have like a heart attack if he keeps acting that way.
It's so
Now he's
good,
like
man.
has a medical condition that he can't get angry, and they would have like Beavis and Butthead pushing his buttons. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying not to get
What-
pissed off because he
We were
might
watching,
die.
We were watching the episode recently where they sell the candy bars, and the tutor dude like slaps him in the face. He's like, "All right, Mr. Candy Ass, you made one fatal mistake." And then when he's just telling Beavis to kick him in the Jimmy, harder, do it harder. Like,
I know that. I know
deal?
exactly the episode you're talking about. Harder, yeah.
It's so good. I'm like, where's Todd? Where's Coach Buzzco? We got Stewart in the past season for the kidney. We got Van Driesen and everything. We got Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, we actually have now got adventures with Mr. Anderson. Like, I just couldn't believe they actually went on a hunting trip. Just that concept had me laughing, just because it's like, Anderson, why? But it's just the running joke of nobody, now that the time jump and people are older, they're like, don't recognize them. Y'all are Buford and Bernardo, not like those other two guys.
And he's done that like the whole, that's like a running joke, like the whole show. There was another character that Jacob brought up, which the principal, kind of like
yeah.
I feel like he would just have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because in the original show, like he would just, like every time he'd get mad at them, he'd be like shaking and like, oh, you little bastards. like just to see how alive the fan base still is and how like much of a community everybody seems. It's just so great to like in every comment, everyone's just like dropping references and saying stuff like for example, like it was in one of my videos that someone commented and they're like, oh yeah, a third season has been confirmed to be in development. I'm like, oh, well, thanks for that, man.
Yeah, I get heads up too. I remember when someone gave you the heads up of the new trailer, and you like, holy crap, they're on top of it. People start telling me like the names of the episodes, like as soon as they like drop and stuff like that. Like,
I remember someone commented on like one of my old Beavis and Butthead videos from like last season. They were like, dude, where's your trailer reaction for the new season? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What? And then like 6 hours ago, a trailer dropped. I'm like, well, yeah, thanks, dude. Heads up. Like, it's so good to feel like this show is still relevant.
Yeah. Right after I did the movie, Beavis and Do the Universe, there was a lightning storm, and my computer capture card and my PS4 got destroyed in a lightning storm.
Oh no!
So I had no equipment all of a sudden. Well, I did. I had a laptop that was like a notebook laptop that barely had any power to like record or do anything, and I had this knockoff cheap capture card that was really shitty. That was the first one I bought, just trying to find something to use when I was early on, trying to play video games and like record it. And so, yeah, my expensive like laptop capture card PS4 got destroyed, and so all of a sudden the show was coming out, and I was like, on my notebook it couldn't run. I used DaVinci Resolve to edit, and on my notebook it wouldn't even run DaVinci Resolve. During last season 9, if you look at my channel, it's like a bunch of Beavis and episodes, and maybe like every 5 episodes there'll be a movie reaction. I think I did like Prey and Hellraiser, but it was because it took me forever to edit that because I was using a crappy computer with a program that was really slow. Beavis and Butthead was a godsend because the episodes were only 20 minutes, and so with the shitty equipment I could actually record and edit it.
You know, me and you, I mean, we go back for a while now, and it's like you were the only other person, you know, that was doing this. We just connected over that, and it was just something that just fell into place, man.
Yeah,
like it just felt right. This is exciting because again, I saw the teaser for this, but I know you guys haven't seen it, so I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah, I've seen nothing, and it was exciting. We've been talking about this collab for a while, and I'm excited to get into this, man. Alright guys, we're back the next day. We had some issues yesterday, so we've watched this episode before, but we didn't want to leave you guys hanging, and we really wanted to rewatch them again anyway, so we're watching these episodes for the second time for you guys. I got Jacob here from JTJ Reviews, and I got the Pragmatic Addic, and we're gonna do this.
Very humor, yeah. Quite popular, yeah. Droll, very droll, yeah.
I love this. This is something that caught us by surprise yesterday because we've seen like old Beavis and Butthead on here, and we've seen even like Beavis with the fire in the first season, but like seeing these guys get their own like introduction, knowing that they're gonna get their own episode was such a surprise.
And they weren't laughing, they're like, have a little dialogue, you know? It's quite jocular.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
a great line.
I want to see more of this universe, though. Hopefully in the next season, whenever we get it.
Yeah, seriously.
Surely to reward us for our good work and many achievements in space.
Brain leaders. Drink
Yes! Alright, so there's Stewart's mom, Todd, Principal McVicker, Van Dresen, Coach Buzzcut, Daria.
My girl Daria, hell yeah.
Indeed so.
Where's the old Burger World manager? That's all we're missing.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Who's that guy supposed to be?
Okay.
Thoroughly at odds with the
Okay.
deontological theory of law.
Well put, smart Todd.
You were supposed to have spent the last
Smart
2 years
Todd.
Smart
I ain't
Todd.
said it the first time.
universes and what have you. But all
Who
you've
is that
done is
guy?
run up an
I don't know.
account on space nachos. and
This reminds me of Bill and Ted when they go to the future that worships them.
We were observing the universe where Beavis and Butthead are in middle age.
Yes, at the height of their powers.
And now the matter of your punishment.
Your sentence is death. Okay.
And you will be permitted to live on the following condition.
You must quit screwing around and successfully complete one scientific mission.
We'll go to Earth 1, the planet they call Normal Earth, and abduct a human for scientific experiments.
God, this
May
is such a good
science
reveal.
be with you.
We must
Even
abduct
such a
a
simple
human.
task is a setup for
Set course
failure.
for normal Earth.
Yeah, and I love how that's like the whole joke is that like they're
Daisy.
called
Should we
smart
leave a
Beavis and
space
Butthead, but
note
it's
on
like
your windshield?
when you look at it, they're so
No.
just as
That would
stupid.
be
Yeah.
Quite human.
Seriously, they've even died this
Who is
season.
that
I swear,
smart butthead?
they died from
That's
that
an
comic
earthling
crash,
named
didn't
Ronnie
they?
Dunn.
That's what I thought
Singer of
too.
country
Yeah.
songs. He has won
I love this
27
too,
Academy of
seeing
Country
them
Music
comment
Awards for
from
men
I
their-
forgot about
such
this
as
actually
Love
that they
of Lovin'
commented this
and
video.
Mama Don't Get Dressed Up for Nothing.
Ah, yes. So country music has an academy?
Yes, they do. Perhaps we could teach there if they don't already have instructors in non-gravitational propulsion or advanced mathematics across fractional dimensions.
We would instantly be the smartest professors at the Country Music Academy. For humans are stupid.
Yes, very stupid. Look at this one, trying to wrestle a cow.
Humorous. Quite humorous.
Which one is the human and
I
which
love
one
their
is the
voices.
cow?
Look at this one
Ah,
trying
yes.
to wrestle a
Humorous,
cow.
Quite jocular, yes.
That one appears smarter. He must be the cow.
Quite jugular.
Please stop, smart butthead.
This is like the definitive
I don't know why,
stereotypical
but this music
Marlboro
is making me love
imagery.
America.
This
Yes.
video also makes me want to worship the man they call Jesus.
Yes, yes indeed, yes.
They have finally made music for
The
ordinary
man they
space
call
people like
Jesus.
us.
Those of us from the heartland of space.
The music's
I
turning
wish
them
there
into
was
good
more
old
footage
boys.
of the females in this video.
Yes, yes. It is a veritable intergalactic festival of sausage, smart.
Ah, yes, yes. So called because an intergalactic sausage looks like a space penis. Yes, it does. Yes.
Quite humorous.
Intergalactic
Notice the
sausage.
females
Too
are
many
becoming
dudes.
intoxicated. It is part of their ritual of scoring. On this planet, the slut is shamed.
Oh, this is where they're
Ah,
talking
yes,
about the
quite
slut.
Primitive, quite primitive.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
slut shame.
Your mother is a slut. I had non-procreational sexual intercourse with your mother.
Thank you, smart butthead. I am honored.
Thank
For
you.
on our planet, we have realized long ago that the slut is not to be shamed, but to be honored.
Yes, and your mother is quite honorable.
Again, thank you, smart butthead.
It is said that there are more men that
Again,
have been
thank
inside
you,
your
smart
mother
butt.
than there are planets in the entire diameter of the universe.
Let us talk more about this video, smart butthead, and not of my mother. Is this the cowboy's wife?
He
I
still
believe
starts
that
to
it
get
is called a
pissed.
horse.
Yeah, you can see how
I
he's
did not
like
ask you to evaluate
getting
the wives
getting to
of
that
your smart
point
butthead.
Oh,
when
yeah.
he's
I'm
like
just asking,
using the.
are they married?
All right, smart
Humor
butthead.
detected.
Let's not talk of my mother anymore.
Yes, yes. Humorous in the way of the belt of the borscht.
Humorous, quite humorous.
The more they try to be different, the more they're just the same.
Yeah.
It was like BB-8 mated
Let us
with a
now
Jedi
begin abducting Smart
Starfighter.
Beavis.
Yes, yes, let it be so. We must find a human to abduct, smart butthead.
Smart Beavis. Observe.
And now
Oh,
the
no.
winner of the 35th annual Chicken Cook-Off.
Oh, that's why he has the Burger King crown.
Let us seize him and take him to our ship. Humorous, but also menacing, yes.
Yes, yes, merciful and sinister as well, yes, yes.
It's a hill
That look is.
That was a great
wow.
shot.
Thank you, Bob. I'm just gonna go get a couple, 2 more beers out of my car to wash it down with.
A couple, 2 more beers.
Thank
I
you.
love
love
Anderson. I love that he's been a big focus of this season.
Grabs
Great.
one.
Dude, yeah, he's brought it this
We
season.
salute you, oh Royal One.
Are you boys in one of them fraternal organizations? My daddy was a proud member of the Elks Club.
You must come with us.
He thinks they're a frat.
Well, all right. You know, I
kinda
always
look like a
wondered what
frat.
you got to do to get
Toga
invited to
party.
join
Yeah,
the Elks in
toga,
this town.
toga.
That's what I love is how he's
After
just
you,
following
Your
him.
Majesty.
Doesn't think anything
Well,
of
this
it.
Yeah.
man of yours must be a custom
He's all
job.
casual about
You do
it.
this yourself or have it done?
For you are now our captive. Huh.
That fetal
That boy gonna be
position.
all right now?
Yep.
That was another whoopsie daisy.
That boy gonna be alright now.
Trying it again.
Look how loose his jaw
In a
is.
foreboding manner.
That's what I
Quite
love about this
yeah.
season too, or like this revival, is the animation.
Did the angel scream?
Oh, we got ads now.
Yeah, I got Sean Pat. I got Stifler and the doo-doo fuck the pie on my
Oh
advertisement.
yeah, you got that American Pie DoorDash.
yeah, that's it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, do you like those movies? I like. Well, I was in high school when they came out.
Honestly, dude, they're just like staples of like my middle school years.
Oh, okay. I think my favorite one's American Wedding, the one where Stifler is kind of the main character. Like, I love American Wedding. I think that's the funniest one of the trilogy.
What I like about American Wedding is it feels so much more off kilter.
Yeah.
Like it's just them in this one setting, and it's again, like you said, it's like Stifler's movie.
Yeah, and him and Finch switching roles, pretending to be each other, as fantastic. And then the whole like gay club dance off is like one of the most
It's so
memorable
good,
scenes.
man. It's so good. Like there's so many iconic scenes in the wedding one.
Oh yeah.
Very well, smart Beavis.
His head just
We
sticking
shall now
out.
perform scientific experiments on this human.
Does that mean probe his anus?
I love it because it's
That
like
is what
they
it
have
means,
all these
and that is all
gadgets
that
and
it
talk
means.
this way,
Prepare the
where it's like
machine.
they're smart, but at the same time they have those
How
mannerisms
many
of Beavis
anuses
and
does a
Butthead.
human have?
I believe one.
How many anuses does it have?
There's one or
Machine
I
two.
love that.
fully
Switches.
prepared.
There's
it
no
takes-
switch for more. There's only ever one or two.
I'm telling you, man. I want to know who they've abducted before.
I think the machine is broken, smart butthead.
Do you know how to fix it?
Well, I could probably
No.
get that working for you again.
Here we
9 times
go.
out of 10, what you're looking at
Oh,
is a
boy.
bad motor coupling.
I love that. 9 times out of 10.
Well, the capacitor seems good. That's
Even
about
on
it.
other
I'm not
planets,
gonna
they still
lie.
have
You know,
He
problems
must
with
be
motor
very
coupling.
advancedly
Who you
smart
boys
because
are,
he's
how I
fixing
even
some
got
pretty
here.
advanced
Yes, your
technology.
memory was wiped with
Advanced to
a
us, but remember to them they
Well,
bought
I
it
call
used
it a
from their
case of
uncle or something. So to
senioritis.
them it's like a '96 Nissan.
I just love how
I
this is
ain't
like
never
a
seen something
ship
like
from
this
another
before.
like dimension. He's
Must
just
be
like, oh
made
well,
in
this
Italy
seems to be
or
the
something.
problem. 9 times out
It
of
is
10,
made
it's this
in a
right
universe
here.
beyond your comprehension.
It's like,
Yeah, well, then it's probably all metric. Oh,
He's not even freaking out handling the
Here's your problem.
flubber.
we just gotta
Dang it.
tighten that up like
You're
Just blow
helping
on it
him,
like a
though.
Nintendo
No.
card.
See, you take this into the shop, and they see you got a custom van from Italy.
and to take this
They're
into the
gonna say
shop.
It needs all kinds of parts and run the price up on you, but it's just a loose housing.
He's
Yes.
saying stuff
It
that
sure
just
does.
like
So what's this
like
thing
his
do
character
anyway?
is so
It
honest.
seals
Yeah.
your doom.
What now?
Incapacitate him
seals your
and attach him
That's
to
probably
the
the
rope.
first time you
Very well.
understand
But
what they
first, I
said.
shall wipe his memory with an emulator. Look at this device. You might see a bright
Men
light.
in Black
Look at what
flashing.
now?
Look at what now?
Whoops, I missed.
Where am I?
Are you boys all right?
What is this device?
I do not remember it.
It seems I can
It's
fit
a double
inside it.
anus
Yes,
massager.
wonderful, yes.
Do you remember what this button does?
And again, dude, of
Please
course,
press it.
Beavis is the one to get probed.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
why-
of course.
Yeah, at least he's having fun.
I don't know, man.
Sir, do you remember how to turn this machine off? Flight camera.
Well, I don't need to join the Elks Club that
I like
bad,
how
I
you-
tell you what. That sounds like the kind of
I don't need to
shenanigans
join
they
the
do
Elks
at
Club.
He's like, that's a bit much for me. I'm outie.
I don't want to see what they do at that Moose Lodge. Dang
He thinks they're a fraternity.
He said, I remember
I
who
love
I
that. I
am
love
now,
how
and it's
oblivious
making
he
it
is.
worse. He's so great. I love it. I love it. I think people were a little mixed at first about him being more focused on, like, when the first Anderson War stories, I was seeing, like, mixed reactions in the comments, but, like, it seemed to grow on people, like, throughout the season, and I think people, like, really started to enjoy it.
Right, and it's like, I don't know, again, like you were saying, like, I just respect it so much that they're putting so much thought into Anderson.
Yeah,
like, he's not just this character who's getting shit, you know? He seems like he's an actual priority this time
they're
around.
including
I
more,
love that.
but staying true to his character.
In the last war stories, he says something at the end. He's like, well, we'll have to save that for another story. So I'm like, okay, well, they're obviously, we're going to get more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that they're, like, talking about his background and his origins, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and that it's led up to this, like, first sequence in the finale. Because it does feel like that was all a setup for this abduction sequence.
It's just such a good idea for, like, a storyline, like, how much backstory he's getting. It's surprising how much of this season feels like it's canon.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Let's go.
You said you could see it.
What?
The concept of this one is really interesting because it seems like both sets of characters are just like the kid and then Beavis and Butthead both don't want to be here in the situation. But they're like stuck in it the whole time, and it's like, how did they end up in it when they don't seem to really like each other? And then the whole time, it's just like they're just wanting to get out of the situation, but they're riding through because they're both trying to get to their inevitable end goal.
And it's like, you know, throughout the episode, they're even like, there's that quote from Butthead where he's like, Cody, we don't like this any more than you do.
Yeah, exactly.
But once we can play our game, we can leave. This can all be over.
That really summed up the whole situation the whole time.
Yeah, it makes you think, like, why are you guys in this situation to begin with?
Like, they probably literally, it just seems like they saw that he had, like, a PS5 and just, like, forced their way into the situation. Probably just, like, bugging that dude to death to try to, like, hang out to play video games.
Either that or it didn't completely, like, hit him until they were already over, like, wow, these guys are fucking menaces.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
seriously.
there's so much to think about, like,
he might be the only kid in the neighborhood that they can take advantage of now. Since Stuart's gone, this kid's like the new Stuart, like you said yesterday, I think.
Yeah, the only thing I'm, like, curious about, we were talking about this yesterday, is, like, obviously he was in a previous episode, and obviously, like, a third season is more or less confirmed to be on the way.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to be coming back, since they brought him in a past episode, and now he's got his own now with the boys. I wonder if he's going to be back in a future season, because it's like, in a way, he does feel like that replacement for Stuart, but at the same time, Stuart had this charm where it's just like, you felt bad for him, like, wow, you guys want to hang out with me? That's cool.
So,
and it's like, when they're throwing, like, that party, Stuart, like, shows up at the door, hey guys, I'm psyched. Stuart, what the hell are you doing here? And, like, it's just, they just treat him like such shit. Like, he's just so, like, the fact that people want to talk to him, that's all that matters to him. And this guy, it's like, it seems like he's aware of these guys, that they're just not good. And he's just like, Mom, get this guy out of our house.
I think what they are doing is setting him up to be kind of a reoccurring the neighborhood kid they interact with. But I think they're trying to not, like, copy Stuart and have, like, maybe a different interaction between the two that's more adversarial, or where they're always, like, stuck together but they don't like each other, is going to be a new reoccurring thing where they might end up in situations, and maybe it'll lead to them being in a more thing where they're trying to fuck each other over or something, you know.
It seems like they want to have that, like, idea where it's like there is this kid in the neighborhood, and however it goes down, them, like, that person with Beavis and Butthead, it's just not going to be good. It seems like they're not just trying to, like, replace Stuart, they're trying to, like, flash out a new storyline,
exactly,
which I really respect.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Okay. The parents slowly act like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot to take in with this episode, but yeah, let's.
Cody, you think we could come over here and play your game?
That's his name.
We've been watching.
I love how that's how it starts. Cody, you said we could come play your
I
game.
didn't say you could play it. I said you could see it.
I did see
it.
What?
What?
It's called seeing.
Yeah, I want to shoot guys in the butt. Yeah.
Are those peach rolls down
I
there?
hate you guys.
Cody,
I think they're chips.
You suck.
Checkers and or checks and pretzels. Chex Mix.
What friends?
This is
yikes.
wonderful.
What
Cody, why don't
friends?
you invite your new friends for dinner? Do
Okay.
you like broccolini?
So he wanted to
like
gloat
to
with his
check or
video
something?
game and show it to him and not let him
So
play,
you
but
two are
it
Cody's new
backfired on him.
friends?
That's what happened with
sir,
Cody.
We're just here because
And this is
we
what I
wanna
love
play
too
this
is
video
like
game.
Turning
seeing
into
them
such a good year
eat
for
like
Cody.
an
I
actual
knew it would
meal.
happen.
Like they're like
Really?
poking the meat
I
and
know,
shit.
seriously, he's like kind of a butthole.
We're gonna do
They're too
everything we
confused
can
to
to
eat it.
make it work out
Salmon.
this
You
time.
never seen
Dad,
salmon
help me in the
before.
kitchen a minute.
It's because all they
Don't
eat is
have
like
too much fun
nachos.
without us.
True.
Get out
I
of
love
my
it.
house.
We're not leaving until we play the video game, you butthole.
That's right.
No matter how much this place sucks, we will stay until we can shoot those guys in the butt.
You can
They just want to shoot a guy in the
then
butt.
Go.
One guy in the butt each.
We I love that one guy in the butt each.
Okay then.
You had to
Seconds
think
for
about it.
everybody.
Mom, can Beavis and Butthead
It's so
go play the
simple.
video game? Like, right now?
Before we have screen time, family time.
Oh my goodness, I
Oh,
forgot.
my.
Someone see an edge
Oh,
piece with
God.
a little bit of cloud.
This is so good.
This is sad.
The
What I
looks on
love
their
about this-
faces.
It's like what I love about this is like it feels like one of those filler scenes, but so much is happening in it. Okay, we'll get back to that in a minute. We got to talk about this cutaway.
Oh,
This is
boy.
a
We need
great-
to see this go down again.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
I like how this guy says nothing. It's like he
Well, that's
knew
the whole joke.
Yeah, he's there to be the
he knew it was gonna be in a
juxtaposition
Beavis and Butthead episode.
against
That's
their.
the worst song I've
sanity.
ever heard in my life.
What I love about it, no
Is it a
spoilers,
song, though?
is that it's so
I don't
calming,
think
but
it's a song, but
the situation
Yeah,
goes
it is.
so overboard.
It's got like
Yeah.
notes.
And it's from something that's
Music
supposed
or
to be
something.
so peaceful to begin with.
yeah,
And even
definitely
Beavis
not a
is
song.
claiming
It's
that
just
it's calming.
Sounds.
Remember
They're
last
supposed to, like,
season how Beavis
calm
just
you down,
destroyed
you
the TV?
Yes.
Beavis, just sounds can't calm you down. You need a song to calm you down.
No, you don't. It's calming me down, and it's not a song. What's your problem?
It's calming me
My problem
down,
is I'm
it's not a
sick
song.
of sitting next to you being wrong all the time about everything.
Yeah, well, I'm sick of you telling me I'm wrong
Like,
all the time.
this
Yeah.
is where it starts to
Hey,
hit you
had
like,
enough
wait a
of your
minute.
crap.
It's supposed to be
So
calming, he's
shut
claiming
up.
it's calming, and
Beavis,
they're just having a
I
meltdown.
will
I love it.
beat
I
the
love the whole
crap
joke.
out of you if you ever talk to me like that again.
Well, let me say it
It
again,
does
but
kind of sound calming, though.
you're wrong, and I'm tired of you giving me crap all the time.
The calming sounds
Something
bring
about
out
it.
all the roommate issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This about it.
Oh my god. This goes
Shove it up your
down.
ass.
Such a savage headbutt.
I've been
It,
waiting
it
a long time for
escalates
this,
so
Beavis.
far.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And I love like the cutaways of them just going.
Shut up,
It just
Butthead.
keeps cutting back and forth, especially with the background. It's such a
Like
good.
WWF breaking the
Yeah,
tail.
it's
like
such a
that,
good
do
piece
you?
of comedy.
Kind of reminds me of early on in the season where they were messing around with one of those things and met Buddha.
Oh yeah.
Don't
He's
even
getting
try
dragged off
Oh,
screen.
no, you don't. No, you don't.
Beavis.
What was he gonna try?
That was some damn aggressive Beavis.
The hammer.
I want to know what Beavis was trying on Butthead.
I know. And it just sits on this.
What's that?
Butthead's all, don't even try
What
that.
happened? What's that?
I don't know, but this song sucks.
He's still claiming it's a song.
The cycle continues.
I don't think that's a song, but it.
Damn it, Beavis.
Can Beavis and Butthead
Okay, but this is what I was saying. What I love about this is it feels like a filler scene, but like this, it's like,
important
why are
for
they
us to
doing that?
connect
They're
as a
just dropping
family.
puzzles.
Sometimes, honey, we
The
need
sugar-
There's no
connecting
reason
with
for
you.
it.
Pieces
but it's
like
just-
sugar
And that's why it's
cubes.
important for us to spend time with
And you can just hear the-
friends who I know are very important to you.
This piece looks like it has a schlong.
They love it.
Cody, you didn't tell us your friend was a comedian.
See, and this is what we were saying yesterday. Is
what?
like it reminds me of the pranks episode we got this
Schlong is
season, where it's like
age-appropriate
they're just being
language.
bad influence, but
Very
everyone
natural
is
for
seeing them as
teenagers
like
to be
good
testing
influence.
limits.
They're trying to
Hey,
just
this
go
piece
along
fits
with
right in
it.
here.
Whoa.
See, Cody never tells us the cool teen lingo like boy. We
Oh,
have to learn
God.
from his friends.
Oh man,
Boy.
they're gonna
Yeah,
start
that
saying
there's a
boy
real
all
nice
right.
boing.
Mom.
Oh my
Oing,
god.
oing, oing.
That is a real nice boing.
Oh god.
Whoa. Your mom's got wood.
It's that perfect like
Yeah, they're probably gonna
like
snore.
representation of like
Want to be hip
trying to be
parents?
cool,
You know
Yeah.
what?
and it's just coming
We're
off
all
as
having
cringe.
such a good- Why don't you two spend the night?
Wait, what's happening?
We can finish the puzzle and then play Riz.
No. I want to play the video game.
Yeah, we want to shoot guys in the butt.
You can play all day tomorrow.
Cody's got some
Dang
PJs
it.
he's grown out of.
Oh
Those
man,
PJs.
the dog.
When
This
did those ever
sucks.
fit him?
Yeah, really.
I was having trouble figuring out how old he was, how he's treated. It's like, how old is that guy?
What I love about this season is seeing like all the different wardrobes that Beavis and Butthead have. I mean, we've seen him with the scrubs and the psych ward.
Okay.
We the acupuncture stuff with like the fork and the umbrella.
Hellraiser Beavis.
Yep.
That was great. And him doing the music.
It's so good. Oh yeah, I can play Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman, that's what it was.
There's just like there's so many good quotes that are just so throwaway, but they come off so natural because it's Beavis.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot a guy in the butt.
I wonder how the
But
rest of
after
the night
breakfast,
went.
Let's all go down to the park and enjoy this sunny weather.
What?
Just leave, please.
Sorry, Cody. We don't
Just
like
leave.
this any more than you do. But we cannot leave until we
One of the
play your
best
video
quotes of
game.
the whole episode.
It's true.
Seriously.
I'm gonna shoot a guy in the butt.
But since it's a special occasion,
Oh,
Cody
man.
and some friends,
That
we're
looks
having
bomb-ass,
Cody's
though. I
special
would eat it.
breakfast.
Oh,
He's
dude,
so
yeah,
cool.
I've been thinking about it ever
Beavis
since
himself.
yesterday.
It's
I kinda wanna
cookies,
try it.
chocolate.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
This is such a good
Oh, here we
escalation.
go.
If you feel that build up, you know what's gonna happen.
We deserved this after he ate all that sugar in that other episode and didn't.
This is gonna be
Crazy.
I love that quote. This is gonna be cool. Like he knows what's
Philip,
coming.
can I talk to you for a second?
Oh no.
It's time to walk away.
I hate to say this.
I know.
But
This
Cody's
is such a
so
good
shy. It's good for him
piece
to be
of
friends
the
with
episode,
someone
just
so
seeing him go across the
theatrical
frame.
like Beavis.
They like
Exactly.
Beavis.
It could really bring him out of his shell.
He's an only child, and it's
What?
good for him to be around an
The
extra.
coffee.
You know?
I love the animation
Beavis
on
is a
that. It's
good
hilarious.
influence.
It's so good.
Hey,
He's on the
hold it.
counter.
I need tippy for my bunghole. Wow.
Cody needs
Dang it.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, you gotta do something.
We know, sweetie. We know what we have to do.
We need to start listening to you better.
How are you this oblivious?
Hey, Beavis, we hear you. I'm
I
Cornholio.
like how it
too.
stops for that 1
And
second.
we're always here if you and your
I'm
friends
going
want to
to
rap about TP and bongholes or substance abuse or just whatever.
Are you threatening me?
What? Do not enable that
Not at all,
behavior.
man. Boing.
Going, going, going.
Oh god.
Broccolini.
Uh,
Broccolini
it's so
in my
cringe.
bunghole.
It's so accurate. I love this. Taking the PS5 with the-
Hell yeah, butthead.
He's just like, this is payment, so they never come back.
Well,
I
the
just
parents
love how
probably
they're
want
dragging
them
it
home
through
on
the
Saturday
grass.
morning.
Can't
Like, this
wait
is
to
such
the
a good
garden.
frame
I bet
right
they're
here.
really bunghole.
Broccolini for my bunghole.
And it's like,
I knew he liked that broccolini.
this family is in a completely different show where it's a sitcom that happened.
And that's the kicker of the
I totally
episode.
forgot about that.
Respect my bunghole.
Oh my god.
It's like the family is like in this completely other show where this ending morality scene where they all come together and figure out, you know, like the end of like a Full House episode.
That was everything it needed to be.
Yeah.
That was everything. Like for a like Cornholio return, I don't know if that could have gone any better.
Oh yeah.
There's
Oh,
so
yeah.
many again, there's so many
That
theories
might
as to how it all started. There's so many theories about like what's gonna go from here.
That might have been why they didn't make him go Cornholio when he was eating all that sugar before, because it's like if they were wanting to like have like this finale feel like bigger,
Right.
that they might have saved it, because it felt like this was like the first maybe finale maybe in the history of Beavis and Butthead where it was like the season kind of felt like it led up to the sequences in it.
Yes, and that's what we were talking about yesterday. Is like for a Beavis and like for example, what we were talking about yesterday. The previous season, it just kind of ended with another episode. Where this one, again, it feels like things were put into motion. Where it feels like they have ideas now. Like again, the previous season was like, all right, well, let's test the waters to see how this kind of delivers. Yeah. And then it did so well, and so they're like, all right, let's take this seriously. We have ideas that we didn't want to come out the gate with in case we, it just didn't deliver.
That's what I'm
now
thinking.
we have that confidence. So we want to set a backstory with Anderson. We want to set up this. We want to like give more lore to this other dimension, and we want to like bring in new characters for.
There's like actually a lot of world building and deepening of the characters of Beavis and Butthead, seeing new aspects of them this season, showing emotion we didn't think they even had.
Yeah, it's so fun seeing like watching a season and having it feel like it's canon.
Yeah. It really does. It's taking it in a more interesting place that makes you even more excited because I think that's what maybe made the beginning of the season confusing at first, and everything felt like a little like off, and we're like, "What is this?" And we're seeing these extra sequences with Anderson, and it's like,
yeah,
this is interesting. And then as it's played out, like it got like around mid-season, it was really hitting its stride. And it felt like canonical, like you talk about, even before hitting this episode. But then when this episode hits, and then it really brings the whole season together. I feel like it's like, oh, the whole thing makes sense, and they were kind of building up to this, and there is kind of a cohesiveness and to what they've set up, and it was more experiment. It was more of a risk. So yeah, I think you're right that they did the more stereotypical setup structure for the season 9. And then this season, they're like, okay, that was popular. We can now maybe get away with being a little bit more experimental and trying some things. And so I think you're right on the money with that.
And that's what has me so excited. Is it's like, again, season 10 or season 9, the most previous season, it just felt like a revival. It didn't seem like it was anything that was like forcing itself. It didn't seem like it was going anywhere. It was just new episodes. This one seems like again, there's so many story like things set into motion where you're like, okay, well, this kid Cody, is he going to be the new Stewart? I want to see more of Anderson's backstory. We're getting more of this other universe. And it's like...
And we wanted to see more of other characters like Todd and Daria and all these kind of side characters. And we finally get to a slight tease, but at least we finally got a little something. But that at least gives a tease that they could finally expand and bring them in. Because if they have them, representations of them in this... That means there could be more of that in the future.
Because again, in the last season, we got like the Stewart episode where he gives them the kidney, and it's like it feels like they found their footing. It seems like they have enough to work with to go to a season 3, where it's like obviously, like we were saying yesterday, these came like back to back. Like this is in the course of like 6 months or whatever. It feels like they have enough to kind of like sit back and like come up with ideas. They have a ton of routes to go in. They have a couple successful seasons now. They got that Do the Universe movie that was extremely successful. So it seems like they found their footing where I can see this going on for another couple seasons. It seems like they have enough to work with. And it's exciting to think about that and like this day and age of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, what's great is it's like, I don't see like everyone talking about being like huge, but it's like getting watched enough and I see enough talk about it that it's like getting enough traction to where I think like, and the budget's probably cheap enough that they might be able to keep pumping it up for a while.
And with how successful it is, they might give them more of a budget. They might give them more to work with. And
exactly.
Like obviously with this revival, a couple of things that we've noticed throughout the seasons is like the animation. It's much more sharp. They're doing a lot.
There's been some great flourishes I've seen this season.
Like it feels like again, it's not just like for fan service. It seems like Mike Judge was genuinely like, I want to make more Beavis and Butthead. There is more story to tell.
Yeah, that he actually cares that. He's not just doing it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what we were talking with like the King of the Hill revival that's supposedly coming is like, again, Mike Judge, whenever he's working on something, you're even saying that he's like, or I can't remember if it was you or someone else, but like he's actually working on a new series. And it's like whatever he's working on, it seems like it's something that he genuinely wants to do.
Yeah, 100%. And so you've actually had quite the journey this season because you were like really kind of rocky and worried at the first 3 episodes. You were like,
Yeah. At
and
first
now
I was
it's like your change at the end, at how excited you've been about the canonical aspects of world building and how the finale ended up. As it was like that's been quite the shift that's happened throughout the season.
And that's such a cool thing to look back on now, because like in the beginning, like you said, I was like, oh, that revival season we got, that was just lightning in a bottle, man. It was one and done. It was they're out of ideas now. That was it. They did a really successful movie, a really successful season, and they didn't know when to stop. But like as it went on, I was like, well, wait a minute. The stuff that I wasn't like really feeling at first, I see it now as like a build up to something. I see it going places. I see that, you know, it like again with the war stories. And the very last one, just in episode 11, he was like, "Oh yeah, but that'll have to wait for another story." So I'm like, okay, they're obviously leaving room. They're just it seems like they're taking more risks, and even if that means taking more time with stuff, it seems like they have a better like idea of where they want to go instead of just cranking out new episode for the fans.
And they're coming up with like new running kind of jokes that's taking advantage of this kind of world building, because part of the world building is even setting up that like there's like a bunch of different just like realities that a lot of these are taking place in, so they can constantly have Beavis and Butthead dying over and over is becoming a more reoccurring. I feel like more so than old episodes, that's becoming a reoccurring joke that they're playing with the multiverse, I guess, because that's I think why they wanted to do the universe and found it on these two smart Beavis and Butthead, so that they can do this kind of more so literally do an not expanded universe, but expand the universe and even like explain why Beavis and Butthead can die in multiple episodes and it be canonical, because
because we have these new these like other universes now, so it's like it gives them more to work with. They're like, well, if we kill off this Beavis and Butthead, it's fine because there's still other Beavis and Buttheads around now. We had that confirmation.
Is old Beavis and Butthead like the future of that time?
You know, so what I was thinking is like at the beginning of the abduction episode, they say something about how they were at another planet where they were like they were studying old Beavis and Butthead. So I think that old Beavis and Butthead are in another universe
where they didn't time jump. It's like them
but they haven't
old
obviously
normally.
confirmed that. They haven't like really made that clear yet. So
I think that would make more sense for Anderson also.
Yeah, because is Anderson doesn't see them, huh? No, he does.
Stolen Valor. Yeah. So when he sees them, because I was questioning that, I was talking to people in the comments, and I was saying maybe the old Beavis and Butthead aren't the time skip. They're in another universe where it's just they grew old to that, because they don't need to have the time skip in that version.
And that's
of Beavis
and I've always thought about that too, because obviously in Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, there was that time jump where they come to 2022.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, well, are they still there?
Right.
Or
so I'm thinking the main Beavis and Buttheads, I guess the ones that don't die in the episode are the main ones we're following, and that's the time jump ones. And then the old Beavis and Butthead, I think they didn't time jump, and I feel like they're in the same possible time but old.
Right. And that's another thing that like I was saying earlier, like there's things that may have not worked with me right away, but now it feels better. Like for example,
I've noticed that with you and with me as well, where I wasn't sure about, but they grew on me, and I really started to enjoy the direction.
Like for example, Do the Universe, I was like, oh god, of course the big multiverse thing is huge right now. Of course, Beavis and Butthead gonna get into that. But now I look at it, I'm like, wow, that actually went somewhere.
Yeah,
that actually paid off in something original and genuine.
More so in season 10 than season 9 too.
Yeah, and it's another thing I want to talk about that we were discussing yesterday is like seeing the expansion of like Beavis and Butthead as people. Like we're seeing more emotion from them. We're seeing different sides of them.
That's one of my favorite and surprising parts of the season.
Yes.
Especially seeing remorse from Butthead. That was one of the most shocking.
It's something that, like, I didn't know how to feel about it. Like, I respected it because it was new.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't necessarily feel wrong. it's just a new side that I'm happy I'm
is.
seeing finally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just as a revival, it's weird. I feel like season 9 feels more Beavis and Butthead-ish, but this feels
100%.
more mature in a story-driven canon way.
Yeah, there was elements of this season that I really enjoyed where, like, I wouldn't even be laughing that hard. I just really liked and appreciated, you know? So it's funny to be able to watch Beavis and Butthead and even, like, be really enjoying it when it's not making you laugh your ass off, you know?
Yeah, and that's like an interesting thing is I was like both seasons, this one and the most recent one, they had me excited for the next season in different ways. Like with the previous one before this, I was like, okay, that felt like Beavis and Butthead. I want to see more.
Yeah.
But with this season, it's like, okay, it's grabbing me in a different way, but I'm again still excited for the next season because now I have stuff to be excited about. You know, I want to see what happens with Cody. I want to see.
Yeah, there's things to latch onto. There's
yeah,
actual threads.
You feel like
to
there's
hold
more
on
to tell.
Yeah.
you kind of like have reason to be excited instead of just like, oh, cool, more Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
So it has. That's what.
Because they easily could have done that, but that's what's turned out to be special about this season. Because we thought that's what we were gonna get. We thought it was just gonna be more, and that it was gonna be kind of B-side versions of last season's episodes.
Yeah, these were the ones that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, and then it just right after we said that, it just started changing direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just threw you for a loop, and you're like, wait a minute, this is all starting to add up now.
Yeah.
It's baffling because it makes you think like how hard at work they really are with this revival.
Yeah.
And it makes me so hopeful for the future of not only this, but again, Mike Judge, you know, with whatever he's doing with King of the Hill, with this new series that he's doing that's coming out soon. It has me so optimistic about that.
Yeah, and that there's like, it's interesting to even have to even say that there's like newer seasons of Beavis and Butthead that are more thoughtful than you would think.
Yes. So again, like we were saying yesterday, it just feels like they're going to take a little bit of time. It doesn't seem like it's going to be like, again, the end of this year, we're going to get like a teaser or something.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll get that renewal confirmation pretty soon here, but I wouldn't expect to see this new season,
It's going to be a bigger gap.
It's like, if this was just all Beavis and Butthead, it's like, okay, well, they can just come up with some episodes and, you know, release them, whatever. But this one, it's like, okay, well, if they have us anticipating certain story pieces.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're definitely going to take some time, especially with these coming out back to back with the movie.
And I kind of want them to, too, because they're going to put more thought into all this stuff. I'm definitely okay with them taking a bit more time on execution.
Yeah, like I would love it if Mike Judge were to like see this video and be like, wow, people are taking this much into consideration about this season.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, Mike. Like
I hope he's seen, because it's like the fandom. We've tried to like hone and rein in the fandom around our channels because it's like we can't find it much anywhere else, like on YouTube and everything like that. So we've been kind of like the forces trying to like. Gather everyone around and have fun with the new seasons and everything. So.
I would love for this to be like a gateway for like other people to like, you know, talk about Beavis and Butthead. Like I would love to see 100%. This fan base get revived and, you know, and grow again.
Yeah. That's even what I've been doing, Daria, because I feel like, because we talked about yesterday about how people are either love it or hate it, and a lot of people are just like, the characters are boring, the animation's boring, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's not enough fart and dick.
I feel like that, like, Daria will be lost to history if someone doesn't, like, keep it alive a little bit. And so that's partly why I'm doing it, is one, it's like, I don't remember any of the plots of the episodes. It's like, I remember kind of the characters and the vibe of the show, but specific plots, so it's cool to, like, rewatch it again because it's been so long. And two, it's like, I love the show, and I just want it to not get, like, lost to history and keep it somewhat minorly relevant in some people's lives. You
want to keep it alive you know, to the best you can.
To the best of my ability, yeah.
and that's the thing that, like, we were also talking about yesterday. I'm like, even just, like, you know, playing, like, the Sega Genesis game and, like, you know, Beavis and Butthead with Guar.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not just, like, obviously, you know, as a fan, I'm like, when I heard about the revival, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely gonna like check out this show. But like, I didn't know it was gonna be like a continuous weekly thing, and that, you know, we were gonna like develop a relationship over this, and we were gonna meet like a fan base and really have this community. I didn't know at all that it was going to turn into that.
Yeah,
How can you expect that?
It was a really cool snowball effect. Like I said, I told
really
y'all the story of how it was convenient that those episodes were coming out because my equipment got destroyed by lightning, and it kind of snowballed where I didn't know those episodes were going to do well at all, or it's like those first couple, like, people still complain about, and it's like, because I was just making my normal shitty-ass fucking videos that no one ever watched. I maybe had, like, 300, like, 600, like, not many subs when I made those first couple like videos, and because I was the only one doing it, it's like also that's why also all these people came out of nowhere, and then I was like, and then I was having fun with all these people in the comment section, like, oh, this is crazy. I'm actually getting to talk to people about all this shit, and then I found your channel, we started talking, and the whole thing just like snowballed, and it started with like a bunch of happy accidents and things that seemed like bad at the time, but ended up turning out better in the long run. So.
And that's like what's so great is like, I feel like that's what is like the most important thing with YouTube with me, is that people expect to go onto YouTube and just like, you know, oh, it's a fun job, it's an easy job, and it's just gonna go from there, and you know, it's just gonna be easy. And it's like, you know, I think about this. I think that's why so many people quit, is that they go into YouTube with like these expectations, and they, you know, set themselves up for something that, you know, is, you know, again, they like have these expectations. And it's just, you know, it's not, you know, you can't predict how the platform is going to go all the time.
Algorithm's insane, and the best thing to do is just do the things you like and are interested in, and randomly videos will hit and blow. Like, you'll have temporary spots where your channel will blow up and you'll gain a big chunk, and you'll be kind of steady coasting, and then some random thing will hit, and it's just like, just kind of like focus on doing whatever, and you'll randomly, because you can't predict it, and sometimes it's like you'll try hard in a video, and no one gives a shit. But the video that comes out like shitty, everyone's watching it, and you're like, why is this video the one?
And it's so hard. It's so hard to like not be biased and like critique yourself too, like be your own worst critic. But like, see, that's like the thing that's really cool, but also the thing that sucks is like, for example, when I was like, with the very first episode of this revival, it was one of those things where it's like, as I'm like reviewing the episode and I'm putting it up, like that half of me is like, no one is talking about this revival.
Yeah.
No one is gonna watch this. But then again, because no one else
the same thing.
Yeah, and so I'm like, and then like I put up my video, I'm like, sure enough, no one is talking about it, no one's doing videos. But because me and you were the only ones doing videos, we kind of like became like the kind of like standouts for like Beavis and Butthead content on YouTube.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what we've kind of like been known for now. That's how we've kind of developed this bond and everything.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is that we all do vastly different stuff. It's like I do reviews, he does breakdowns, you do reactions.
Yeah.
So it's like you get like a little bit of everything, and that's so cool how it just came full circle.
Yeah.
It's such a great thing. It's like you said, just like a big snowball effect.
It really is. Like, just turned out this is just like the more it goes on, the more fun, and then it's led to us being able to finally collaborate. And it's just like it's so easy. We are able to then just hook up again this morning and go way smoother.
It's like we were saying like yesterday, like you know, for example, me and you started talking in the very last season, and it was just like it was a matter of time where it's like, look, we're the only ones at the time before he started doing the breakdowns. It was like we're the only ones on the platform doing this kind of stuff. Like it's bound to happen. It's just it's that crossover that you know it's gonna happen. It's so good that it's like we have this kind of like circle now. We have this community.
Yeah,
it's so awesome to see that just off of like Beavis and Butthead.
So another thing real quick about this season I want to bring up that I don't think we talked about yet, but I've talked about with people in the comments, the cutaways. People this season have noticed like the cutaways this season a lot of times have felt more Mike Judge commentary a lot of time than Beavis and Butthead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so I've discussed that with people.
About that.
Yeah, because that seems also an experimental shift where it's like during those sequences, he's in that more of just like a voice to like have some fun and maybe like express some things, you know, whatever he's like wanting to say about this, that, but in a funny, like silly kind of way.
Yeah, and we were talking about that exact thing in the last episode. We were like, how do like the cutaways that they like choose to have, how do they find them? It's obviously got to be something that like Mike Judge is familiar enough with, where he's like, okay, I got to keep this one like written down because I got to talk about this. And the only way I can get away with it is if I'm like, if he wants to roast something, it's like, well, if I do it as Beavis and Butthead, it comes off fine. So it's like, I can get away with it like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It definitely seems like you said, like, for example, in the original series, it was just like, oh, we're going to pick a music video and just comment on it as Beavis and Butthead. This one feels, like you said, like more tailored to like Mike Judge specifically.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, we've gotten variety. We've gotten ASMR stuff.
Yeah.
We've gotten music videos. We've gotten YouTuber stuff. And we've gotten mukbangs. And it's paying off. Like that was like the biggest like worry to me is like, I don't want Mike Judge to put all this effort into this revival and not like, and like, you know, just for someone to be like, okay, well, this episode didn't work for me. It's like, I want him to understand that people, like the diehard fans, they're following, like they see it. Obviously, this isn't the first revival. He tried back in like 2011, and that one it just didn't work out. So it's like, I feel like he's been wanting to do this. He just needed to find out how to do it.
Yeah.
He's given it enough time. He's given it enough thought.
He gave it another 10 years or so.
Yeah, so I'm like, look, this has to be like, even if the revival ended right now, like even if they announced like, okay, we're pulling the plug, like good run, dude. We got two really good seasons.
Satisfying regardless.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're getting a third season, but it's like even if we just got these 2 seasons in the movie, it's like good fucking run, dude.
Yeah.
Like good job.
Whatever he did between the last revival and this one, like, paid off.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like, it's such a good time to be a Beavis and Butthead fan. It really is.